Let me see. Yeah, Clayface. I saw like a small clip of this for like two seconds of it. It looked very intriguing. The thumbnail alone too. I mean, look at that, chat. Look at this thumbnail. Shit looks terrifying. Looks fucking terrifying. So let's pause the music. I want to see what this trailer is about for Clayface. Oh my god, his eyes. What, this tube going into his nose? Is he like struggling to breathe? What the fuck happened to bro? What? What? Look here. Look fear in the face? Yeah. What the? What in the fuck? October 23rd. Oh, that's not for a while. That's not for a while. I don't know a whole lot about good Clayface, man, but dog. That looks like it's gonna be a little like creepy. That looks like it's gonna be creepy for sure. That looks like it's gonna be terrifying. Are there any other? Okay, well, I've seen the Backrooms trailer before. Is Clayface a villain? He might be a villain, bruh. Fruit Bays, what the fuck is up? The Diva's doing great. The Diva is back like he never left. The Diva is back like he never left. Let's just here. Let's do a quick little bit of. Let's do a quick little bit of research, bro. This Clayface, that trailer made it seem like Clayface, that this movie's gonna be nuts. Clayface is an alias used by several characters appearing in American comic books. Okay, well, who is Clayface? Clay-like bodies. Yeah. Adversaries of the superhero Batman. Oh, no way. And he's an enemy and an ally to Batman? Oh, no way. Well, I mean, this is going to be like a solo Clayface movie, so this is going to be origin story, clearly going to be origin story. So intriguing to see like how they do it with that though. But I mean, the way they conveyed it in that trailer makes it look like they're going to go more of like a kind of like horror direction, and I fuck with that heavy. That seems so cool. That seems so cool. Ha! I watched NFR reaction with my 59-year-old coworker who loves long. She's obsessed with me now. Well, shit. Tell your coworker I said hi and I appreciate the love. Appreciate the love from everybody and anybody. Y'all have blessed me so much. Which, by the way, that video on YouTube is doing fucking numbers right now, and the channel is up like crazy. We're getting close to hitting that 2,000, bro. That road to 2K is putting in fucking overtime on YouTube. Putting in overtime. Ooh, we could watch. I always like New Rockstar. Let's rock with this. Give me the explanation.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric.
Give me the explanation, Eric Voss. Which, by the way, chat, let me know if the
Voss
fucking
yuck.
Let me know if the audio on like the desktop is like too loud.
This is a breakdown of the trailer for DC Studios' Clayface. The DC Studios Gotham is finally revealed in the third film of James Gunn's DC Studios slate, starring Tom Rhys-Harris as the Batman villain.
Yeah, we just learned he's a Batman villain, Clayface. It's gonna be Gotham. Audio's fine. Okay, fire. Which I had thought about the fact that, like, the Batman movie that was made with Robert Pattinson is not, like, a part of this new DC universe that they're doing. I think I read somewhere that they're going to try to incorporate that into the DCU, but they might not. We'll find out in due time.
Clayface, aka actor Matt Hagen. This teaser is only like a minute long, but it's filled with DC Easter eggs and details you might have missed. So let's break it down frame by frame to find everything and figure out together how Clayface will fit into
fucking like that shot
the broader
going into
DC
the
Studios
eye.
vision for Batman.
Like,
now,
what?
I first saw this trailer last week at CinemaCon in Las Vegas, and for my deeper thoughts about the discourse around CinemaCon and the very weird civil war it seemed to start between press and content creators, we have an upcoming podcast on our In Our Underground feed. Take a listen to the preview.
We're all people who work
That's
in
not
this
good.
industry,
Yes.
who care deeply about television and film. And the fact that we chose to do it on YouTube and TikTok doesn't make us any less credible.
I think, again, I'm going to go back to I wouldn't be chugging
invited
wasabi
this
if
nut?
Disney was paying us.
If you want to listen to the full episode, it's coming up soon, and you can get access to this and all of our episodes by subscribing to the NR Underground at nrunderground.supercast.com. Okay, the trailer opens with this
KW
static
plug.
shot of Matt Hagen in a hospital bed, face covered in bloody bandages, a breathing tube running into some newly formed orifice in his face as one bulging eye stares out at us, never blinking, for the full 1 minute and 3 seconds of this teaser, intercut by flashes of his life before and after this recovery period. Matt Hagen, aka the Batman villain Clayface, is played in this film by Welsh actor Tom Rhys-Harris. The movie was written by Hossein Amini from an original draft by Mike Flanagan, of course the showrunner behind the various Netflix horror series like The Haunting of Hill House and its other.
Oh, they're definitely going to be trying to go a fucking horror direction with this Clayface. Bro, I also just realized that, oh my god, Lexi is back with the 15 months. Oh my god. Give it up, everybody. W's in the chat for that. Holy shit. I'll drop one real quick. I'll drop one real quick too. Holy fuck. Oh shit, mine's green as well. It's so awkward. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Thank you so much. 15 months. Gotta go get dinner, but see you later. Okay, fire. I will see you later then too.
Spinoffs, and the movie is being directed by James Watkins, the director behind
James Watkins, which, by the way, this is the first DC Universe movie they're putting out that's not directed by James Gunn. Because Supergirl's going to be directed by James Gunn. Superman was directed by James Gunn. It's just those two at the moment, right?
Speak No
Anyway.
Evil in the quite haunting Shut Up and Dance episode of Black Mirror. The official synopsis of this movie
Oh,
goes as
no way,
follows.
that's
Clayface
fire.
unravels one man's horrifying descent from rising Hollywood star to revenge-filled monster in a story that explores the loss of one's identity and humanity, corrosive love, and the dark underbelly of scientific ambition. I like that verb there. Unravels recalls another famous iconic DC film moment of unraveling a monster underneath some bandages.
Mirror!
This is the third film of the DC Universe slate, overseen by James Gunn and Peter
Third.
Safran. And
Yeah,
interestingly, its official tagline kind of follows a trend that we saw with the taglines of the first two. For Superman, it was Look Up. For Supergirl, it was Look Out. And for Clayface, it's now Look Fear in the Face. Matt Hagen will suffer some attack to his face, maybe by some organized crime element, and in a vain attempt to fix his appearance and salvage his acting career, he's going to undergo an experimental treatment that will make things even worse. Now, the character of Clayface was first introduced in Detective Comics number 40 in June 1940 as Basil Carlo, a B-list actor driven insane when he hears that a remake of his classic horror film would be shot without him, and he dons the costume of his Clayface movie villain and becomes a serial killer. Then, in the Silver Age of DC Comics, Clayface was reintroduced as Matt Hagen, a treasure hunter who stumbled upon a subterranean pool of chemicals that turned him into this clay-like monster. But arguably the most famous version of Clayface merged these two characters in the Batman animated series 1992 two-part episode arc Feet of Clay, with Matt Hagen as a popular killer actor who gets addicted to a chemical that allows him to alter his facial features without makeup and allows him to keep his good looks to hide the fact that he was disfigured in a car accident years ago. But when he overdoses, he becomes the monstrous Clayface. Actually, the way Batman eventually defeats him in part 2 is to pull up on various screens past roles that Matt Hagen had played, which then freaks out Clayface as his body shapeshifts chaotically. Clayface seems to electrocute himself to stop this, but then later Batman prods a piece of his clay and they realize that electricity really has no effect on Clayface, and that he really had them taking a clay shell of his body to the morgue, and that he had actually faked his death. This movie looks like it's going to be a modern body horror story that explores the themes of vanity and show business, similar to The Substance. It does not appear to be doing any heavy lifting of the broader mythology of James Gunn's DCU, but technically this is the first time we are seeing the DCU Gotham City in live action, the same Gotham City that the road sign in 2025 Superman was pointing to. Now, the Gotham City of Matt Reeves' The Batman from 2022, which starred Robert Pattinson, and its sequel coming in 2027, and the same Gotham of the HBO Penguin series, that has so far been clarified by James Gunn to be set in an Elseworld. That said, Matt Reeves is a producer on this Clayface film, and he tweeted the trailer drop, so who knows what's gonna connect here. But either way, by starting with a monster story in James Gunn's
intriguing.
Possibilities. James Gunn is signaling that he wants Gotham City to be a rogues gallery driven setting, a place of sympathetic monsters that gets so bad and so corrupt and so freakish that it really needs a freak like Batman to combat them. So in this trailer, we cut from Matt in the hospital bed to an insert of his past, or maybe some other time. First, this shot of him during the daytime, and then we see him smiling on the red carpet of a movie premiere outside a theater that looks like it's called The Light Box. It's possible that many of these are not actually in his past, but maybe the life he either wishes he had, or the life that he starts to be able to live for a time after his Clayface abilities allow him to transform his appearance to the benefit of his career. Like, there are some set photos suggesting that during this scene on the red carpet, Matt will smile in front of the fans and photographers, but then run away when his face begins to melt, outside of his control. This movie's marketing team has been posting fictional publication covers in the universe of the movie, including one entertainment magazine discussing Matt Hagen as a rising star, and another Gotham Gazette front page reporting his attack, with a tear ironically running through his face. On the first of those, there are some Easter eggs on that one. The name Laura Dethesis in the upper right could be a play on the term lordosis, which is a medical condition of the spine. Ashes on Sunday is a fictional DCU band that actually showed up on a prop poster from the Clayface movie set, with that poster naming lead singer Dina Drake, aka the Black Canary of the DC world. Blister Twister is actually a rock group from Batman 412 in 1987, and then Lucy Haley is actually just this movie's prop master. We see a shot of Matt's face being cut as he's held down that we can't really show you the full version of because it's too violent, and then another insert of plastic bandages to hold his face in place. Now,
I mean, yeah, kind of, bro. It's nuts. Like, it's like a half-second little snippet they put in the trailer. I was like, holy fuck.
The music that we hear throughout this trailer is a piece of a cover of the Flaming Lips 2002 track Do You Realize, which normally is followed by That You Have the Most Beautiful Face. Interestingly, this song was used in the very first teaser shown for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 that was shown to attendees at San Diego Comic-Con in 2022. So maybe it's just a song that James Gunn really likes. But there, it was a reference to the body modifications undergone by Rocket Raccoon at the hands of the High Evolutionary. Here, it takes on a much darker tone. In fact, we don't even hear the full song, just the repetition of Do You Realize, kind of making it a message that Matt Hagen can't allow himself to hear fully because he does not believe that he has a beautiful face. And speaking of Flaming Lips, remember, it was the Flaming Lips bad days that introduced Jim Carrey's Riddler's home in Batman Forever when he made his first riddle for Bruce Wayne. So really, the Flaming Lips might just be the artists behind all DC villains. It is so hard for me to establish boundaries. As soon as somebody asks me for something, I find myself putting what they need before what I need. Sometimes that's not a problem, but when my bandwidth is low, it can lead to burnout and resentment. My therapist recommends help from BetterHelp, the platform you can trust. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/newrockstars and get 10% off your first month of therapy. The trailer now starts
Good sponsor
to show a female hand injecting some pink serum into Matt's cheek beneath his eye, right around where his face was cut in the other shot. I think these are being administered by Naomi Ackie's character, who is reported to be playing Dr. Caitlin Bates, a fringe scientist compared to Elizabeth Holmes, and reportedly Hagen's love interest. But one of the marketing posts was this cover of Gotham Medical, which lists an interview with a Caitlin Core, calling her the new face of regenerative medicine. The cover story also mentions the future of organ transplants and has another article about urban health challenges tackling airborne diseases in mega cities.
I did not know they put up these
DC
little like magazine like promo panel
cities.
things.
Really, we're just talking about Metropolis and Gotham there. So I'm wondering if Caitlin begins this movie as Matt's partner, but then after his accident, she moves on and begins dating Max Minghella character. He's playing a Gotham City police detective who has been described as Caitlin's boyfriend. There are also some inserts of Caitlin looking into a microscope as we see some cells on the left screen, and on the right screen, you can make out the words nanocell infection, parentheses simulation, on a screen where you can see veins running through a 3D scan of a face and a head. So I think what Caitlin injected into Matt's face was a type of bacteria that she thinks will help his facial tissue repair itself, when actually this microorganism is going to take on a life of its own and morph Matt's flesh into something resembling clay. The dark underbelly of scientific ambition in the official synopsis suggests that there's going to be some kind of medical sci-fi element in this story, and it's just a very popular thing in pop sci-fi these days, or at least after The Last of Us, to explore the mysteries of fungi. The Penguin series also had that subplot about the bleeding tooth fungus and how it was used to create the psychedelic drug of bliss. So whatever she injected him with, plus the airborne diseases that was mentioned on that magazine cover, these things affecting Gotham City right now, and or the Narrows that we see in this trailer, it all seems to be central to this movie's plot. We see Matt smiling as he looks through a window, then an insert of his face melting in the same location. I mean, the practical makeup in this movie looks really good. While Clayface is known for a full body transformation, and we do get a shadow glimpse of that later, they're keeping it mostly focused on his face as kind of a way to explore the character's psychology and how for him it is just about his appearance in a mirror. We see Matt running down an alley that I think is when he flees the movie premiere red carpet, and then there's
Bro, look, his face, and when he's fleeing in the alley there, one
way
side
to explore the character's psychology and how for him it is just about his appearance in a mirror. We see Matt running down an alley that I think is after when he
yeah, it starts to droop a little bit.
He flees the movie premiere red carpet, and then there's this insert of his face melting that might be right after he wakes up after his procedure. His nostrils have been kind of gooed over, and the skin over his mouth is kind of tearing open, looking like Neo in The Matrix when Agent Smith melts his mouth. We see Caitlin walking in front of a sign for Amusement Mile. Amusement Mile is a location in Gotham City inspired by Coney Island of the New York area. This is where the Gothamites go to play carnival games and ride rides and just in generally be kind of creeped out. And yes, anytime we see Gotham City, our minds immediately go to Joker and Harley Quinn. And I'll just say that any Gotham City where there's some clown murals is a Gotham City where the people there are just innately afraid of clowns.
The clown face was
switching. Take advantage of that fear. There's a shot where the flesh-colored clay substance looks like it's being warmed or stimulated in some way in a plate. Maybe a sample of Matt's new clay-like flesh that Caitlin is testing. The way it moves resembles the way certain creepy sea creatures and non-Newtonian fluids have moved in laboratory conditions, leading to my theory that this could be some fungal substance with a mind of its own. We see an overhead shot of a spiral walkway as someone carrying a cane either descends or ascends, and we see Matt in an airplane lavatory as he yanks off his sunglasses and sees that his eyelids are melting. An airplane mid-flight, not a convenient place to have an episode. Then we see a shot that shows us some of the geography of the DCU Gotham City. A boat approaches the docks of an industrial part of Gotham that the ramp confirms is the Narrows. So that would make this body of water the Finger River, named after Bill Finger, co-creator of Batman. The Narrows is a rundown neighborhood situated on an island in the middle of the Finger River. You may remember the Narrows as a major setting in Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins. There's a shot of Matt in a hoodie in a part of Gotham with some strip clubs, and then a shot of Caitlin in a scuffle with Eddie Marson's character as she claws back his cheek. But is this Caitlin or Matt shapeshifting into Caitlin? I'll come back to why in a bit. We see the shot of Caitlin and Matt holding hands, maybe in their past when they were still together, and then a quick shot of Joshua James's character looking up at us with a nosebleed. This actor played the Imperial torturer Dr. Gorst in Andor. Then someone who looks like Eddie Marson's character walking past a Gotham police car, but notice he's wearing the same blue hoodie that we saw Matt wearing in another shot, so I'm guessing Matt shapeshifted into this guy to be able to sneak into somewhere. Then there's the big shot, the shadow of Clayface on the brick wall where his
and he makes a huge fucking like
Clayface
mace
form morphs his hand into a big mace. One of the most iconic melee weapon forms that Clayface's hand takes throughout comics, animation, and I'm thinking specifically toys. Then we see David Densick's character. Remember, he played Mikhail Gorbachev in Chernobyl. I think this is the crime boss Matt is scoring vengeance against. Notice that he's wearing a mobster suit with a fancy handkerchief tucked in, and Matt holds a blade over his face. The teaser ends in a very substance-looking shot of Matt in a bathtub, and he runs his hand down his face, and it smears like clay. Oh, there's so much give to this clay. It's just deeply unsettling how real it looks. Specifically, the way the skin folds over itself to form a crease. It's
will also look like going over like the eyes and shit. Like, dude, oh my
Deeply
God.
unsettling, especially if you pause in the final frame and you just see like the edge of his chin and how that skin just kind of hangs over that chin a little bit. It's clear Tom Rhys-Harris was cast at least in part for his bone structure. They really needed sharp cheekbones and a pronounced jawline and chin to give these VFX artists an underlying structure to mold all this facial putty onto when it smears like this. So the smearing looks completely unnatural. Me, I barely have a chin. This just kind of goes into the neck. If you cast me as Clayface, this is gonna smush in a way that still just looks like Eric Voss. Now, technically, the character of Clayface was already introduced in James Gunn's DCU and the animated Creature Commandos when he was voiced by Alan Tudyk, when Clayface was impersonating a college professor in order to make Task Force M think that Cersei's vision of Princess Alana's evil future plans was a bogus vision, when in fact it was not bogus. It was actually real. Now, we thought that Clayface was killed with electrical wires, but on Blue Sky, James Gunn did say the reports of Clayface's death have been greatly exaggerated. He is quite mushy, though. Also, in the Batman animated series Feet of Clay episodes, Clayface is not destroyed by electricity. But either way, James Gunn has been a little inconsistent on whether these animated versions of these fantastical DC characters, specifically in Creature Commandos, will be the same versions that we see in the live-action movies. I mean, even Rick Flag looks pretty different. But James Gunn did definitively call the Clayface movie, quote, a DCU story when it was greenlit. In December of 2024. So anybody online who's clowning James Gunn's vision over Clayface based off of what happened in Creature Commandos, I think we can expect this movie to be different. However, James Gunn did just give an update that the Clayface movie is set before Superman, and that Clayface is the first DCU movie set out of chronological order. So based on that, I think we can look at this Clayface movie as a prequel story to the Clayface we meet in Creature Commandos. And I think it's possible, based on James Gunn saying this is the first, that we might see other DC Studios movies around specific characters or villains that are just set before the events of Superman in order to establish the broader history and lore of this world. Comment down below with your thoughts on this trailer, and a special thanks to one of our In Our Underground subscribers, Jeremy Dunham, for supporting us at the executive producer level. You can get all of our exclusive bonus content.
Okay, dude, that was a W video. I got some good insight with that. I did not know that, like, chronologically, this Clayface movie is going to take place before Superman and Supergirl. And those two are set in order. I've seen neither. I could watch Superman, like, soon. And then I want to go, the reaction to the Supergirl trailer is up on the channel. I want to go see that in theaters when it drops. Because that will be exciting to watch. This I'm very excited about, just because like that trailer made it look so intriguing, like the horror elements and creepiness they're going to do with it, and just the unsettlingness of the way they're making the Clayface stuff look too is cool. Seeing that in the theater will probably make me feel certain ways. It's going to make me feel like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm excited for that one. I'm excited for that.